And I'm going to first execute just some cleanup. I've done this a few times, so I'm going to delete the table and a user that we're going to be doing some stuff with. Here we're going to create the table. This is the same table I showed in the example with the same masking types. And I'm going to insert some data into that table. We're going to create a user that we can use to do some testing with, and we're going to grant select on our table to that user. And the first thing I'm going to do is we'll do two selects. We're going to do a select as myself, then we're going to execute another select as the user test masker, and then I'm just going to revert back to myself for my executions. And what we see here are two different result sets. The first one, we had a table created for the first name. It's got a mask set of 1, it's a partial with 1 followed by X's. We had a phone number with a default mask, a phone number 2 with a partial of 0, XXS-XX- and then 4, the email with an email mask, and the 2 integer masks, default and a random. So here we see the original data stored as it should be in the database. Since I'm a DBO, I can see the unmasked data. The other user sees a T with a bunch of X's for a first name. The phone number default master string sees 4 X's. The second phone number used our partial mask, our custom. So it's masking the area code and exchange, but showing the last 4 digits of the number. The email is masked to the first letter, 3 X's, at 4x's.com. And here we see we had an initial number inserted as 9 and 15, and we show a 0 for the default and a random for 3. What I'm going to do is give the test owner the DB owner rights and run the same selects again. And here we should see that now, since that user has been granted DB owner, he now sees unmasked data, even though the data columns are set to be masked. We're going to revert that user back to normal, and we're going to grant insert into the table for the user. We're going to insert another set of data as the user. Even though he's set to be masked, we should find that these data points all go in exactly as they show here on the screen. We will do another set of executes. And again, the top row, the top 2 results are as myself as the sysadmin, and we see the normal data sets. And the lower 2 sets of rows show the masked data, even though it was inserted properly. The user still can only see, even though he inserted it, he still only sees the masked data. If you don't want to give somebody a DBO and they need to see some data for a while, there is a new grant called Unmask that you can grant to a user. And we'll do that here. And now the user can see the unmasked data. You might want to do that for a short period of time. Then you can then revoke the unmask, and we can execute one more time. And here we should see the masked data back as normal.